What does that say about how brutal it can be?
Well, that's the job, basically.
Does anything
I feel
surprise you?
Sorry?
Does anything like Ange losing his job surprise you anymore?
No, makes it. I feel for every manager, and I have huge sympathy for every manager, especially in these moments, because I feel for them, because I was in the same spot, and it feels horrible if you're in that spot. It just shows you that it is about, it is not only obviously about titles. It is, you can, let's say, survive seasons without titles if your connection, the support, the belief and the trust between the coach and the club officials is strong. Then you can overcome seasons without titles. It happens. If there is slight disbelief, if there are concerns, if the trust is not there anymore, obviously, then it is sometimes not even enough to win a trophy after so many years. I mean, I have biggest respect for him. He's a huge character. He brought the trophy. He said he will deliver the trophy in the second year. He did. But this is part of the job. We are responsible for the results, and we are responsible for the development of the team. So if we like it or not, we don't like it, of course, but sometimes it is us who take then the full responsibility for a development that is maybe not on the highest potential.
What should we make of Ange? Was he a breath of fresh air? Or was he someone who was up for a scrap with anyone? Media, pundits, own fans? What do you think?
Well, I thought he was a breath of fresh air. I think we in the media are going to miss him. He was a very compelling, engaging character. He was box office. If he was ever being interviewed, you wanted to listen to what he had to say, even though sometimes in post-match interviews he was so disappointed that he couldn't make eye contact with the reporter who was interviewing him. And he's got this incredible backstory. Let's not forget, this is somebody who grew up on the other side of the world, in Australia, in Melbourne, in the 70s. And he used to stay up in the middle of the night with his father to watch Liverpool games on TV. So he's been on an incredible journey, and to go from where he was to become the manager of Tottenham and to get them in the Champions League and to win a European trophy and to win all the trophies he's won wherever he's been, including Celtic as well. It's an incredible story. It's why he's a national hero in Australia. He's a national hero in Greece as well. So Michael Bridge put it perfectly earlier this evening. Ange Postecoglou can leave Tottenham with his head held up high. You can say all that, but at the same time, you can say that for Tottenham, it's unacceptable to lose 22 league games in a season. It's unacceptable when it looks like every other team in the league has worked out how to play against you. It's unacceptable when the board think that perhaps your training methods are contributing to injuries. It's unacceptable to say that at Christmas, we're basically going to throw the towel in the league and we're going to focus on European football. That's the best way to get into the Champions League. What does that say to the Tottenham board? What does that say to the people who've bought season tickets? Did they just waste half the season? Did they waste all that money going to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to basically watch games that it was more than likely their side were going to lose? So I think there are very, very good reasons why this decision was made. But I think at the same time, you can say Ange Postecoglou is a fantastic manager. He's a very engaging, compelling character. A lot of what he had to say about the game, he was like an old school football fan. He didn't like VAR. He didn't like cheating. He didn't like players diving. He was a breath of fresh air, but I'm really sorry. It all just comes down to the Premier League table.
I want to pick up on something Carve just said there, throwing the towel in the Premier League. Now, we all remember when Arsenal were challenging Manchester City for the title and all the Spurs fans wanted their own team to leave, and Ange had a go at them and said, this club should want to win every single game. This season, he's like, we'll chuck the Premier League. It's all about Europe. Square that circle for me, James.
I think he was aware of just how important a trophy was for the football club, and that's why it became paramount for them to do so well in the Europa League. But ultimately, other sides are dominating in Europe, but they still take care of their league form, whether or not they're winning the league or not. You simply can't throw the towel in. That stat I brought to you at the beginning of this hour, one Premier League win since the 22nd of February, that being against Southampton, one win in the last 12 league matches of the season, 22 league defeats this season, the most ever in a 38-game Premier League season by a side who weren't relegated. Ultimately, if Spurs finished mid-table this season and there were signs of improvement and there were signs that he could get them back on track, then perhaps he would be given the opportunity to lead them into next season and beyond. But Tottenham are back in the Champions League next season. They need somebody who can put them in a position where they can be competitive. They're not going to win the Champions League next season, perhaps not, but they need to be in a position where they can dominate in the Premier League to a point where they can qualify for the Champions League again next season by finishing in the top 4 or 5. And the evidence from the course of avoiding the first 10 matches in charge in the Premier League when they won 8 and drew 2, the evidence isn't there, and Spurs pointed that out in the statement, didn't they, in terms of what Tottenham have done over the course of the games that have followed there. The resume isn't there, a huge body of work over the course of something like 50, 60 matches, that they wouldn't be in a position next season to qualify for the Champions League once again. It was brilliant to qualify via winning the Europa League, but they're not going to have that avenue next season. They can't win the Europa League next season, so they can't get in the Europa League next season. They need to get into the Champions League again, either by winning the Champions League or finishing in the top 5. And based on the evidence we've seen this season, they're not going to be able to do that.